Hey, sorry, I didn't see you there. I was just doing some light reading. I love a good story. It's no worry though. My name's Robbie and I'm stoked to have you here. I actually wanted to tell you about a fascinating story I came across in a film the other day. It was called Outcast, and it's the action-packed, thrilling adventure of a warrior from a long time ago and a galaxy far, far away, alongside his crusading comrade, Academy Award winner, Nicolas Cage. Cover! We begin where all fun stories do. The Middle East. Ain't too much change since we last saw little Annie. He may serve a new lord, but he's still stabbing people in the back, slaughtering locals by the hundreds, and all that other stuff as well.
There are women and children in there, Jacob.
They won't be harmed.
They will be harmed.
We end this today.
All the while, Superman and Jesus love child Nicolas Cage is saying, "Look at me, I'm the preacher now."
Haven't you had enough of this? Killing for hypocrite priests.
We do God's work.
The blood we spill here is on our blades. Our souls, not God's.
And to that, Vader says, "I am God."
We don't have to do this anymore. We can just go.
Go where?
East.
No one goes east.
All of a sudden, Nicolas Cage starts to sense a disturbance in the Force. Something isn't right. This isn't a Nicolas Cage movie at all. It's a Hayden Christensen movie. To reclaim dominance, he gives Annie a good, close look at his just-for-men hair coloring, and well aware of the dangers of having the low ground, he retreats to blow off steam. After doing his thing and getting nostalgic for a moment, do it. He can still smell women and children out there, so he follows his nose to his remaining prey and calls it a day. 3 years later, we find ourselves in the Far East, where there's a sick king, power-changing hands, yada yada yada. These are the boring characters and scenes. Nearly dead daddy tells his son that he's going to be the next king, even though he has an older son who has done everything for his king and country by leading effective military campaigns and most likely learning all of the important and necessary traits and tactics of effective leadership along the way. But yeah, it's a time for peace, so the better choice is to have a 12-year-old lead the kingdom right after war.
I have made none of these decisions lightly.
But don't worry, this is China, so the woman won't have any power at all.
A king tends more to his sons.
She is, however, now responsible for her brother surviving because he can't do anything right, and Big Brother is going to kill all of them thanks to their dad's poor decision-making.
My son means me no harm.
So, while Big Brother is making money moves and ordering dinner,
Summon General Gao. Now.
Lil Prince and Lesser Human escape the palace on horseback because, as you will remember, the older prince brought everyone inside with him instead of sealing the exits or, creating a perimeter. You know what? Maybe the kid is the smarter choice after all. Eventually, their horse dies mere feet away from Sanctuary, where Captain Jack Christensen also just so happens to be chasing the dragon and grabbing a bite to eat, no matter the cost. The princess walks in, only to be immediately discovered by the guards who were already crawling all over the place when they got there.
I'm sorry. I didn't see them.
We get this pretty decent quip.
My father will hear of this.
So the dead have ears.
And Anakin, realizing the food sucks, wants his sword back. But there are no refunds in the new king's China. The guards are in a good mood though, so they give him a complimentary beverage. Wrong move, bitches. He only drinks diet drinks. A quick wash with GoPro-infused water, and an indifferent farewell later.
We will be killed.
You will be if you stay here.
And the chosen one is back on the dusty trail. But he quickly remembers that he's getting paid for a full movie, so he rejoins the royals and allows the plot to move forward. Resting on the road in broad fucking daylight is pretty stupid, so they move to a better hiding spot. But I'm not really sure it matters at all, because these guards can't even see the horses standing 20 feet in front of them. And if you think that was dumb, buckle your fucking seatbelts. We're just getting started. Pop quiz. How do you show your new hope that you're not worth his time and that you deserve to die? You ignore the only order he gives you and make it easier for bad guys to spot you.
Wait here. I said wait.
The prince continues to be useless. Anakin saves the day for the 4th time. And then these needy pricks thank him by making his job even harder.
We can't just abandon her.
It's one more mouth to feed, and one more body to hide.
They seek 3, not 4.
They don't seek 3. You've killed all the black guards you've seen up to this point, and Hayden Christensen left the 2 royals behind last time they were publicly seen. Who or what wrote this script? After all of that, the new king's food is only just arriving.
Your Majesty, General Gao.
Now, I'm no expert in thermodynamics, but there's no way in hell that his chicken is still warm after that much time, and I happen to know that the microwave won't be seen until at least the 13th century.
If that's the case, it's inexcusable.
Later on, the character whose name I actually just realized is Jacob is taking a much-needed load off, enjoying a bitchin' high, totally down to share his supply, but instead of being a good hang, the princess pulls the most twisted prank by burning his opium, verbally berating him,
Everything you care about bears no weight.
and asking him the strangest questions.
Do you know what it's like being a woman?
The only thing worse than going to bed next to that is waking up next to this.
Teach me. Teach me. Teach me. Teach me.
Blowing your brains out isn't a thing yet, so Jacob caves, and we get what every great character needs when they must learn something really, really quickly.
We're gonna need a montage. A sports training montage.
So much time passed during that montage that the world is now a desert, and I can't tell what's more annoying. How the white characters are inconsistently British throughout the whole movie,
She's shy. She enjoys her privacy.
or how this lady's mouth doesn't need to move for her to form words.
Nothing of interest here.
Regardless, now that they're in a public space and should, now more than ever, be on their toes, Jacob does what any good bodyguard would do, and gets absolutely trashed.
What'd you give me?
What do you mean, what did you give me? Drugged or not, you just slammed like 6 doubles and a mouthful of opium. You should be on your ass regardless. Anyway, it seems like it's only been an hour, but Jacob is woken up by a blacksmith who's so good he doesn't need to heat the metal he works with. Seeing that the black guards have arrived, he deals with the one inept guard that movies are contractually obligated to include, and after treating everybody equally,
Your share alone!
just waltzes out with the rest of the gang without issue. Sure, they most definitely could have all escaped together, but Jacob gets cranky after waking up and wants to squeeze in a workout, so he kills a bunch of people, many of whom may very well have children, likely dooms a large part of this densely built village made mostly of wooden buildings, and performs a stunt that is actually really fucking impressive. All before making his way back towards the helpless ones who could really use his company right now. Like, what was the point of even staying behind if they could have easily been killed like this? Unfortunately, under their silk robes, they've got some pretty thick plot armor and are saved by forest-dwelling ninja bandits. Now, I hate to point this out, but ever since Jacob punched that chick in the face... Can we see that again, actually?
Your share alone!
Yeah, ever since that, this movie has gotten pretty entertaining. Jacob arrives on the shore, finally feeling the hangover he should have had this entire time, and after realizing he's already worked 4 hours today, he takes a much-needed break.
It's time for the moment you've been waiting for.
That's right. He's back, and since the next few scenes are pretty much pointless filler, I'm just gonna let the man himself do the talking.
Good. If it was my choice, I would have let you rot. Black guards are as thick as flies on a farting goat's ass because of you. I should have left you in the woods for crow meat. 10.
14!
In my experience, those who climb to the top only ever remember they got there by their own effort. You're lucky my wife likes you. Where's my wine? Riddles give me headaches. My wife, she's good with a knife, eh, lad? But at one time, she had the most beautiful singing voice. But the guards cut out her tongue, blinded my right eye. I have to take a piss. To the damned, each and every one of us. I'm a simple man, easily bedazzled by swift-talking young princes.
And the Oscar is awarded to Nicolas Cage.
After a forgettable scene for something called relationship and character building, we get back to our regular scheduled programming. The king and his guards have arrived, so I guess it's time for the climax? We get fires, explosions, spear kills, sword fights, and traps straight out of Skyrim. All of which would be cool, but everyone's wearing dark colors, the director is addicted to Dutch angles, and the average shot length is a half of a second. So it's just an incomprehensible mess. After our beloved adventurer takes an arrow to the knee, his wife gets killed by her own explosives, and we get to see Nicolas come out of his cage. But I'm sad to say we soon find out that it is in fact possible to kill a god.
I see you.
Does the rest of the movie even matter? Okay, let's rattle this off quick. The gang confronts the baddies, Little Prince is still useless, Jacob fights the king, but he kinda cheats, Jacob becomes Boromir, but won't die. This guy's a real one.
The next man who raises his bow dies!
The princess does something stupid, but also won't die. Second win, and Jacob wins. These two act like they're going to die, but don't. All the bad guys are like, cool, Peach Fuzz over here is our new king, and it's done.